Hey guys, EvilEd209 here, back again with a special edition Warhammer 40k Battle Report. Today I'm recording to you live from Gatehouse Games in Duncanville, Pennsylvania, where the Cellar Dwellers are throwing their first event of 2012. We're doing a 1,500 point 3-round RTT tournament. Fully painted is required. There will be a painting score and a sportsmanship score along with first and second place. So we're going to go in, take a look at the venue, see how things are going. I'm really excited. Chad's running the event. I'm playing. Tom said he was coming up, but I don't know if he's playing. We have a few people here so far, but I know that someone else is running another tournament somewhere else, so we'll see how it goes. So here we are at some of the tables. We've actually got one heck of a crowd. Actually really surprised, considering. But this is by far one of my favorite locations to play at. They have some awesome tables. Tim's done a lot of good work up here, and this is just table after table after table of awesome training. This is new. I've not even seen this one. This should be fun. The Great Wall. It's just, it's going to be a good event. So I'll get you at round one. Alright, so here I am. I am playing Lynn here in my first round. Space Wolves on Space Wolves. It's Dawn of War with objectives. He's got a unit of Blood Claws over there, some Grey Hunters over there, and Najal, who I've never actually played against, hiding out up there. I deployed over here. He's got first turn, but I'm going to try to steal. And I do not. We're going on to Lynn's turn one. For Lynn's first turn, he basically used Najal's ability to Living Lightning my Rhino and exploded it, and he killed a guy that was inside, and he advanced with his Grey Hunters and Blood Claws. Moving on to my turn. So my first turn I basically moved on. These guys moved on 12. This one here managed to immobilize itself, but dumped its contents over here. Move forward 12 and top smoke. Move forward and dump contents, top smoke. I moved up here. I tried to exchange Living Lightning with Najal and missed. And this one over here moved in. So we're moving on to Lynn's turn. Okay, so Lynn's second turn, basically he popped my Razorback over here and spilled the contents over here. Moved Lucas and his squad over here, and tried firing into here, and basically armor saved off a couple of saves. So it's on to my turn. Okay, so my second turn was much more productive. I one-shot the Land Raider, that little Razorback right there, which is getting a cookie when it gets home. One shot, penetrated, blew it up. The squad here basically moved forward, dumped in. I softened the squad up with some missile launchers, charged in with some Grey Hunters, and knocked it down to just Lucas. Lucas broke and ran, and he's going to escort himself off the board. And over here, sorry, wait, no, that won't happen because he's a Space Marine. He can auto-rally. Over here, I softened up that Plasma squad down to 3 Grey Hunters, and his Land Raider just came in over here. So moving on to Lynn's turn. Okay, so Lynn's third turn, basically Lucas the Trickster moved back and kept on moving. I'm going to have to escort him off the board if I want to get that kill point. His squad buttoned down over here to try to protect the objective. His Land Raider came in, stunned up my Razorback, and Najal parried. So moving on to my third turn. So on my third turn, this squad here basically took out Lucas, and he is gone and didn't take any of my guys with me. I conveniently placed Rhinos and Razorback chassis in front of everyone to give them cover saves. I did manage to ping off one more of the Grey Hunters there. I put 5 missile launchers in a jaw, and he smiled. And I got lucky with another Razorback, putting one shot into a Land Raider and wrecked it. So moving on to Lynn's turn. Right, so Lynn's fourth turn, he basically plasma gunned my Rhino to death, and my contents got spilled out over there, and Najal parried once again. I think we've kept count. It's the third time he's done it in 4 turns. Moving on to my fourth turn. End of my fourth turn, I managed to finally put a wound on the jaw. Basically just kind of maneuvered for positions. Got that objective here. Put those guys in the button-up tank there. Objective here. I moved over here and assaulted. His one guy managed to hang in there. Wow, we still need to take checks though for that, don't we? Let's see if he makes us. And he's a Grey Hunter. He did fail. Alright, we'll resolve that up here in a second, then it'll be his turn 5. Okay, so on Lynn's 5th turn, basically he Living Lightning and took down 2 of my Grey Hunters here, fired his plasma gun and hit, but rolled a 1 to wound. Moving on to my 5th. Okay, so my round 1 was a pretty good game. I had a lot of fun with that one. Lynn and I played both Space Wolves, and he played his list a little bit different than I did. I got lucky with 2 Razorbacks, 1 shot, 1 kill, explode, 2 Land Raiders, which is the bulk of his points. That was like half of his army. From there, it was a pretty good game. Looking forward to round 2.
Brad's going to guide these guys.
Oh, give me 1 second if you wouldn't mind. Oh, he made his check. Alright, so here I'm on table 1 for our first round. I am playing Joe. He is playing Eldrad. Here's Eldrad Eldar list. Basically, we have 1 objective over there, 1 objective under that Razorback here, Eldrad and some Dire Avengers over there. He's got Guardians here, and everything else in his list is on reserve. And he just stole the initiative from me, which is awesome. So, moving on to his turn 1, which is already in progress. Okay, so on his turn 1, basically his Dark Reapers styled out some discriminate justice on the Longfangs over here, knock them down to 2. They made their check. He also guided and doomed some the Dire Avengers over there, so we're moving on to my turn 1. Okay, so my first turn, basically I pinged off, I think, 2 or 3 of the Dark Reapers in the building and a couple of Dire Avengers. He's really tucked in there, so he's going to make me go in there and get him. And I only managed to kill 1 of the Guardians with twin-link glass cannons. So we'll see how this goes. Moving on to his turn. Okay, so his second turn, he basically immobilized this tank and made this one no move, no shoot this turn, and wiped out a few more Longfangs. We're moving on to my second turn. So my second turn, I managed to blow up the Falcon. Oh, we're watching the reserves as they come in. Or I'm sorry, the fire prison I blew up. Both of his other reserves are coming in. And I took one off of here, deployed Longfangs here. I actually was trying to assault over there, but it didn't. The thing I was shooting at blew up, so I never got the opportunity to do it. So on his turn, his Harlequins came in and cleaned up my Squad 1 and my Room Freeze. That's okay because he wasn't being really used here because of Eldrad. And that was really about it. Oh, he pinged off a couple of Longfangs over here. So I am moving on to my turn 3. Was that my third or fourth turn? Is that third or fourth?
Oh, that's
I think that was my fourth.
They came in on the third turn, so this is now it's top of the fourth.
Right, so this is my fourth turn. Okay, so my fourth turn, basically these guys got out and rapid fired into that Guardian squad. They did make their check, they're okay. I tried putting some missile launchers into that squad holding the bunker. I think this one's coming down to secondary. I don't think that's anything. I did manage to immobilize and blow off the other 2 weapons on the Falcon, so it's got its shuriken cannon and it can't move. And I knocked them all the way down to 1 guy on the Harlequin squad. So that was a risk, but I had to take it. Moving on to his... So on his turn, basically he managed to sniper rifle to death my last blast back here, spilled the contents out over here, and he managed to take out all but 1 of my Longfangs who broke, but luckily he's going to come back next turn. And in an epic failure, his Harlequin charged in, killed 1 guy, and the rest of my guys beat him down to a pulp. Moving on to my 5th turn. Okay, so my opponent's 5th turn, basically he ran over here. He did dump some of those Dark Reapers into here, but I've made every one of my cover saves. We're moving on. Actually, that was his 5th turn. We're going to see if it goes on another.
It's your turn. You still get
oh, that's right. You stole. So that is my 5th turn. So I still got 1 more. Moving on to my 5th turn. So at the end of my 5th, basically I continue to break this unit off.
He's good.
I blew the other weapon off of the Falcon over here, so it's basically just a hull. And I came over here to try to grab the the table quarter. All he's got left is Eldrad, big ass squad over there. Oh, I did manage to kill 1 of those Dark Reapers, so he's down to 1. So I get 1 more turn to try to kill it. His turn, my opponent's 6th turn. Basically, he continued on here. I'm going to try to escort him off the board for that. And he managed to kill 2 more Longfangs. It looks like we're going to tie on primaries, which is objectives, but kill points is next, and that could get important here real quick. Moving on to my... So basically, I moved over here, took a shot at the Falcon and missed. Melt-a-gun, Falcon, missed. That was pretty much about it. That was my turn. I fired a couple more shots into the lone Dark Reaper to try to get that kill point, but damned if I can do it. We rolled it, and we're going to 7. So this is our 7th and final. Okay, so my round 2 was pretty good. I ended up with an 8-2 win. I forgot to mention in my first round I had a 10-0, so I'm at 18 battle points total. I've got 2,200 and some victory points. It's pretty good so far. My other opponent was not a Necron player. He was the Eldar player, and that was a tough list. I knew going in he had Eldrad, and that Dire Avenger squad just bunkered into that bunker, and there was no way I was getting them out of there. So I skipped the primary and went for secondary, went for kill points, and it went pretty well. Had a good time. He was a good opponent. He was angry at his dice, and I don't blame him because some of his dice were horrible. Moving on to round 3. Okay, so Space Wolves made it to table 2. I am playing Christian, who should look familiar because he took first place in Legionnaire. We are playing Pitch Battle. Kill points is the primary. I forget what's after that. We'll have to look at it later. I basically deploy my guys over here. I've got a boatload of orcs I'm looking at though. So we'll see how it goes. Christian, do you want to see if he can steal?
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to steal.
He's going to attempt to steal. He's grabbing a die. And almost. Alright, so Space Wolf's turn. Okay, so my turn 1, basically I fired a boatload of missile launchers into that Luda squad and whittled it down some and took some boys with it as collateral damage. But that's pretty much all I was able to do. He's got a lot of boys. Moving on to his turn. Okay, so Christian's turn 1 was pretty productive. Popped that tank and spilled the contents out over here. Blew up this tank and then fired some big shooters into here. Mopped them down up to a little squad. And then moved everything a little bit forward. Moving on to my turn 2. Okay, so the end of my second turn, basically I shot up that Luda squad enough to make them break. He did call his wob, but they're going to be off the table. I softened up Gazzy's squad a bit, but not enough. He declared his war with Gazzy, so I'm looking at 2 turns of fun. Moving on to his turn. So Snickrot squad came in, took out a couple of long fangs. I was actually hoping he was going to kill the long fangs, so it'd make my decision-making process easier, but he didn't, so now I've got a decision to make. Knock this down here to 1 guy. He did take out my room freeze. That squad moved forward. Gazzy separated, so this should be interesting because I've got las cannons with his name on it. And that squad over there. Moving on to my third. So my third turn, I took a tactical chance and moved out of here and assaulted in that squad. Did okay. I lost by 1, but failed my check and broke, and he's going to walk my happy ass off. I won combat here, so things are all right, but I've got that coming. And over here, my guy's out with a flamer, flamed and killed 9, charged in. He's down to a knob. I also moved forward over here. So moving on to his. Okay, so Christian's here starting to hand me my lunch. Gazzy went in. I actually killed the last knob here and got the kill point, but Gazzy came in and actually made my check. If any time I wanted to fail, that would have been it, so that I could shoot them, but no, they're still in. He cleaned up this squad over here, and that squad's going to break on my turn because he's still within 6. Moving on to my 4th. Okay, so at the end of my 4, basically, I peppered this squad with missile launchers and got them down. Tried to get them to break, tried to get Snickrot to break, didn't happen. So that squad's going to walk off. I got mopped up over here, Gazzy standing there. I epically failed on some rapid fires, got the whole squad out, rapid fired into Ludas, and only killed 4 of them. So now I'm going to take some assault cannons to the face, which should be fun. His 4th turn. Okay, so basically what he did, he took some shots with his big shooters up here and did nothing and tried to charge in with Gazzy and shot the Ludas over into my Rhino, and so far nothing. So 5th and final. Okay, so we're at the last turn. I think we skipped a couple because we were getting time called and we were rushing. Long story short, he beat me 8 kill points to 5. Gazzy tried to charge in there to get another one. I fired 10 missiles into the squad here and did nothing. Brutal. I would have needed to pick up 3 kill points to even make this a challenge, which there's 2 here. I don't even know that I'd have gotten Gazzy. So, good game, Christian. Awesome. Thank you so much.
I would like to thank all of you for joining us today. We actually have had not an attendance like this for quite some time, so it's really good to see all the new faces, as well as a lot of returning faces from our local guys. I also want to make mention of the fact that I didn't hear anybody screaming and yelling except in a good way all day. We didn't have anybody in a I moved, yeah, oh yeah. You know, it was good. I kind of liked having not a lot of anybody getting worked up. Nobody was in a bad mood, and we didn't see anybody getting grumpy, which is always a good thing. You know, you never like to have a good game against somebody who got upset about it. So I want everybody to really think about that as a positive factor. Everybody was here as a good sport, and that's awesome for me, and it's awesome for you because it means that we're learning our rules and we're learning how to get along. Can't we all just get along while we kill each other's stuff? So
somebody think about the children.
Yeah, exactly. But I also want to make special mention to those guys that took the time to tell me that they had not painted their armies. That's very sporting of them. If you brought an army that perhaps somebody had painted for you, or that you bought that was already painted, or something like that, that's pretty mighty, actually, because a lot of folks buy those armies from pro painters and they take advantage of it and don't mind taking a couple of prizes home while they're at it. That's solid. That's good character, and it's appreciated. So now that said, I do have our best painted guys, and we do have a tie for 3rd place, so that's kind of nice. We're going to split that right down the middle with 2 5s for the 3rd place guys, and those are Ed and Donzig. All right, so you can spend that any way you like. All right. Good solid paint schemes, good colors, and I do have a couple of some side notes on one or two of the score sheets. If anybody felt as though they have questions about where they could possibly improve with their painting, and as Josh here has shown us, get an airbrush and learn how to use it, because wow, that was an awesome second place for best painted, sir.
Thank you.
And appreciate the color scheme. It was good. It was very solid. So that's our second place, and Alex Vavrick, once again a beast at the painting. Very smooth, and I like the head swaps on the from the Forge World kits. Those were nice. One of the things that I mentioned once or twice here this evening is that the best kind of conversion is the one that you have to point out to me, because it's so smooth, because it's so consistent. Blending those things in and getting your conversions to look like it should be there is a big thing. And when you can do some free sculpting and adding on of toolkits and stuff, and I don't even spot it as not being a GW part, that's awesome. That's really where it's at. So now, as far as sportsmanship goes, we didn't really have a lot of time for voting for sportsmanship. Things got crazy hectic. But once again, like I said, I didn't have anybody. Crabbing. We hardly had any rules questions. The one guy that I did have a little bit of a kibosh on something that was going on, he took it with grace. And just modified his playing appropriately. No complaints about it. So first off, I want to get everybody to give everybody else a big hand for how good good showing. Good showing. Now we are going to give a couple of prizes to everybody because we could not decide. As I said before, all our paints are half off, but any additional stuff that you buy on your way out the door, we're going to give you 10% off. Everything in the store. So if there's something that you want, take advantage of it, because that's the best thing for you to decide on. All right. So okay. Now on to the part that most of you came for, and that's the crush and face part. And we had some guys do a pretty pretty bang up job of that. And I'm going to leave that to you, because you're the guy running the laptop, which may in fact short out near me.
All right. Well, first off, I'd like to thank Tim here for letting us have the event here today. Thank you for the wonderful store, the wonderful tables, wonderful time.
Tables on the fly.
Yeah, tables on the fly. We're thanking Bill and all for that. He was gracious enough that when we were panicking as to we're going to have too many people with buys, he nicely said, well, okay, he'll step out, and he was able to leave a table for us. So definitely thanking him. Thank you, Bill. Hope you're watching the video. I'm pointing at the camera, guys. Right here.
He's with us in interwebs.
Secondly, I'd like to thank everybody who showed up today. You about gave me a heart attack and blew my mind for round one, because I had no idea what we were going to do. I had no idea you were all showing up. You freaked me out a little bit, but by rounds 2 and 3, I calmed down and got everything going smoothly. Thank you for the heart attack about. Let's go ahead.
A very good showing.
We sincerely understand and surviving it.
Yes.
This survive your first one. Everything else you can just
It's downhill from here.
Yes. Not only was it my first tournament, it was our group's first official tournament, so everything was thrown onto me, and I'm like,
So,
but
that's good.
all right. For third place.
Trial by fire and all that.
Third place, we have Josh Mullins.
Woo!
Josh over there. He played Chaos Demons today, and we'd like to thank him for showing up. Second place was Christian and his Orcs. Christian played some very good games.
The boys.
First place, maybe we should just skip him. No. First place is Josh T. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Very good wins. All three top players all went 3-0 today. The battle points, I mean, they all pretty much maxed out for the majority of it, and victory points were crushing numbers. You guys played a very well game and everything. I'd like to thank you all once again. I hope to see you guys at our next tournament. Evil Ed, of course, as you all can notice, my son Logan here is taking some video for us. We're putting it up on our website. Evil Ed's got this information for us.
Yeah.
There will be a link to that from our Facebook for the Gatehouse Games page.
Right. We're gonna post the full results for those of you who are interested and want to know where you placed. Obviously, we named the first three. Everyone else has got it placed in scoring. We're going to post the full results on our webpage. It's www.thecellardwellers.blogspot.com. I will put a link to that on Tim's Facebook page. I will also post a link for any video coverage that we've done. Some of you guys have been around us before. We've done some videos. It's all in the same spot, but for those of you who haven't seen it, it's on our personal YouTube page. This was awesome. We walked in the door thinking we were going to see maybe 8 or 10 people, and I want to take 5 seconds to just thank everybody for coming out here. This was absolutely excellent. Thank you so much. So I'd like to give you all a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you for running harder than it looks.
You're telling
Yes,
me.
it is.
So I saw these people coming in, and we're both going, oh my God.
I told you we did a couple.
Yeah, great work, guys. It was a lot of fun. Tim and I are going to try to button up, maybe try to get a couple more running. If anybody has any feedback whatsoever, hey, I didn't like this, hey, I didn't like the way this run, there's a comment page on our blog. Please leave a comment, because we can't change anything unless we know what went wrong. So anything at all, please let us know, and hope to see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.